Let's go ahead and talk about the Sphinx SDP 9mm Compact. This is a relatively new offering from Sphinx, imported by Chris USA. These are the same guys that make that 45 ACP submachine gun. Sphinx, although not too popular in the US, has been around for some time. It's a Swiss company. They started life manufacturing high quality gun parts for competition. Then they eventually went into making their own guns, generally fully custom competition guns like the Sphinx 3000, 2000. They did kind of a branch a little bit and started manufacturing police handguns. The Sphinx 2000 Police is a model that comes to mind. And since that time period, they've kind of started a production gun. Prior to that, most of their guns were handmade, very well tuned, kind of like an Ed Brown, but they started making this production offering. So let's go ahead and review this firearm. We'll see what some of the pros are, the cons, why you may or may not want to buy one, and we'll go from there. So let's start with the barrel. I've got two. First of all, this is the factory barrel that would come with your SDP. Colt hammer forged barrel based on the CZ75 design. You can tell that based on the, it's not a link, but a kind of a Browning, camming type action. Instead of a CZ75 that has locking legs right here, just a square breech beefed up. Colt hammer forged barrel that is orthogonal rifling. They do make a threaded version, 13.5 by 1 left hand, metric of course. As you can tell, the threads don't go all the way to the top, so that is a sign of quality. There is a little bit of a space right here which will keep debris and dirt out of your firearm. One item of note is if you take a 9mm cartridge here, drop it into a case gauge, you'll notice that it is in spec. And if you drop it in the chamber of their duty pistol, it goes inside and clears with no problems whatsoever. But if you drop it into the threaded barrel, it does not. So the threaded barrel is machined to tighter tolerances, at least the chamber is. Probably for accuracy, maybe more realistically for debris. So if you are going to be shooting this firearm suppressed, you need to use very high quality ammo. Otherwise it won't chamber, it won't eject, it won't extract, and it may not even feed. So 13.5 by 1 left hand means that to tighten to the right is tightening, to go to the left is loosening. This may be in conflict with your suppressor if it comes apart, because by tightening this to the right, you may actually undo your suppressor. So just something to note, but pistons are there. The whole thing about left-handed being tightened when you shoot it so that it won't shoot loose is false. Both right hand and left hand threads will shoot loose. None of that is something that you have any control over, because to the best of my knowledge, no other companies make barrels, so it's just something that you have to live with. Let's take a look at the slide. CZ75 pattern slide with a very large inverted slide with full-length rails. You do have serrations in the front and the rear, fairly broad, so you do have plenty of purchase area. The Steyr-like ejector kind of comes at a weird 45-degree angle, fairly short, works very well. Sights are somewhat of a Sphinx thing. The rear sight has 2 set screws and it is dovetailed, good quality. The front sight is has a set screw right there. It's a fiber optic front sight with a Trijicom insert. If you look closely, you can see a Trijicom post in there. So in daytime shooting, you will have a nice green front sight, and when you transition to a dark environment, it will also glow. That is a Sphinx thing. The rear sight will also glow. The sights, you can see the red there, so it'll glow red at night, and it'll be white in the daytime. So as you transition from dark to light environments, you will still get a very good sight picture. Very interesting, very high quality. You do have serrations in the rear, so you can pick them up fairly quickly. It comes with a PVD coating, polymer coating somewhat equivalent to the HK's hostile environment, designed to withstand corrosion. Very well manufactured. You will also see these 2 kind of grooves right here. I believe this is to prevent or enhance reliability with that large with that large chamber. There is a large firing pin block in the rear. Again, a little bit more suppressor friendly, so it keeps, as when you shoot suppress, you get a lot of dirt right here in the breech. Keeping the firing pin block away can help with that. The frame is where you see even more differences. Again, CZ75 pattern with the inverted slide rails. You have an aluminum upper and a polymer lower. So this is Sphinx's attempt to kind of get the best of both worlds. Lightweight, but still high quality feel. The grip, if I had to guess, feels more like an M&P. The back strap is interchangeable, but it's a single unit. So the back strap and the side straps is just one unit. You punch out this pin and you slide everything in and out. They come only with a decocker, so single action, double action with a decocker. Again, no machining marks, very well made overall. Double action is a full heavy double action, probably in the 10 pounds mark. Single action will rival a 1911, very crisp and clean. You have your trigger transfer bar. When you kind of squeeze the trigger, that initial take up will lift the firing pin block lifter. And then there's the sear, which will release the hammer and the gun will go bang. Reset's not too bad on this gun, nice beaver tail. So you shouldn't get any slide bite or hammer bite depending on your hand size. Picatinny rail, M1913. A little bit of serrations here. Large cavity if you want to shoot with gloves. The decocker is on both sides, but the slide stop is not interchangeable. The magazine release is. Speaking of the mags, 15 rounds, most likely made by Medgar, made in Italy, Teflon coated, so they can resist with oil. Orange follower, easy to remove floor plate, and they do drop free. And CZ75 mags are compatible, but not CZ75 PO7 or PO9 mags. Other than that, if you want to put the gun together, kind of, fit the barrel to the slide, you got a standard fare there. You do have a captive recoil spring, flat recoil spring housing, which is disassemblable. There's a little bit of a trick here. You have to line up the slide of the frame, push it back to where those notches intercept, put in your slide stop, and there is your Sphinx duty pistol. So why would you buy one? Well, if you're one of those individuals that wonders, or if you catch yourself saying they don't make them like they used to, or where's the quality, this gun may appeal to you. Very well made firearm. It's not necessarily collectible, but if you like old 1911 SIG P210s or even Luger PO8s, but you're afraid to shoot them, these guns feel very well made, but again are safe to shoot as they're not rare or historically significant just yet. Is it better than a mass-produced Glock, HK, or something like that? Maybe. If you put in a vise, will it shoot better? It might. Will you as a shooter be able to notice that? Maybe, maybe not. But when you pick it up, there's no denying the overall quality, appeal that they offer. Parts and accessories are starting to come into the country. Magazines are not an issue as they use CZ75 magazines. And overall, very high-quality handgun that I recommend you check out. Other than that, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Thank you.